Beach, California, August 7th, 1945, the day after they dropped the atom bomb. So I guess I'm a real baby boomer.
What did your parents do?
My dad was, he was a pilot and a Marine. He went on to be a stuntman and then an actor. He did all aerial twin stunts and did a couple of movies, and then he got a couple of TV series, so he got fairly established. He's like, B+ cowboy star.
So you became your own stunt double.
Yeah.
I was talking to Herbie, and he said you went on safari when you were young.
Yes, in 1955, we went on, my grandparents took me on 2 safaris, 1955 and 1957, so I'm, classically trained as a hunter. We also had a professional photographer there with us, a lady named Marilla Riccardi.
Was that when you first started getting interested in photography?
Yes. We went around the world, so we were in Thailand, we were in Hong Kong, we were in Egypt, we were in, all over the world, and everything was still pretty cool then, and you could take pictures of all the things that you've seen in books, but for real, and just do it yourself, so I was real fortunate.
When did you first start to surf or skate?
Actually, skating was first. In 1949, I had one of those skate car, like a fruit box on top of a skateboard. It's sort of cool because you could put, if you're throwing rocks at cars or stuff, you could put all your ammo and stuff inside the box. Pedal around like a little arm. A regular skateboard was a few years after that. Just a stock 2x4 with a Union roller skate with a steel wheel. And then for surfing, we would go down to the Alameda Bay, and people would come up to the snack bar on their paddle boards, and we get to know certain people. So after a while, they'd let us take their paddle boards for like an hour or so. So we paddled down to the end of the bay, and they carried, two of us would carry one of those big clunkers across the street over to 72nd Street, and we went over there and rode a wave, and that was just unreal. We weighed like 40 pounds, and it was just, all you had to do was just push into the wave, and it was just effortless to stand up and, surf. Well, catch a wave and you're riding on top of the world, but, it was a golden time, you could drink the water, be a kid.
What year did you start skateboard handbook?
The first thing we did, it was 74, we did the handbook of skateboard tricks, the one with Les Howell. It was the little book to show all the tricks you could do, and there was, and he just did all this like a demo. And then I did the magazine, and then after that, I did the big handbook, the one that Herbie was in, doing his nose manual and riding balding. But before that, I had Hang Glider magazine.
Right.
But then I got tired of breaking my legs, and the skateboarding was, I'd done that my whole life and never got hurt, so I quit the one and just jumped ship.
Right. When did you start the U.S. Skateboard Association?
74.
And that's still going.
Yeah, we've done a few things. We did a Guinness Book of World Records with Juice, the wall ride. But back in the day, we did, when we started that, we established all the rules for the sport, put on the first world contest, and then I did the U.S. Skateboard Association and the World Skateboard Association. So we had, all the banners of all the other nations under our flag. And it's a big deal. 75. ABC came to me and they go, hey, we want to do David Frost, Guinness Book of World Records for skateboarding. What do you got? I go, what do you want? I can do a speed. He said, yeah, well, fine, we'll do speed. And can you throw in a couple other events? So I just made up a thing, barrel jump and the high jump. And there we went.
Hey, do you still have the collection of photos from Baldy Pipeline? I mean, you had an extensive collection.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Did Herbie find his?
Well, no, but I was talking to him about it, and he goes, guys, we had the best pictures. Well, when there was graffiti, it was really a long time ago when Waldo was out there and all that.
Well, that picture of Waldo at Mount Baldy, that's been the most published skateboard picture in the history of the sport. I mean, it's been in 47 different publications, and they're still publishing it. There was the first picture to show that you could get past vertical. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
neat place. I mean, Herbie was there right at the beginning.
Yep.
And, God, if it was just, this is where skateboarding should go.
What bands have you photographed?
Which bands?
Yeah, because I've got pictures that you did on Rolling Stones.
Well, I did, but the Stones, Jeff Beck, Boston, Led Zeppelin, Eric Clapton. I mean, we were doing all the things with Walken, Riss Miller, and Avalon, and, all the concert guys. And then, like, when I do my skateboard demos, we're right on stage with, everybody.
Do you, out of all the hundreds of thousands of pictures that you've taken, do you have a favorite photo?
I mean, the Volvo one's really cool. I mean, because for what it is, I mean, that's a real good one. I got this one, I just did a show with Craig Stessick, and I did one in Santa Monica at the A&I Galleries. I took a photo of Ty Page at the Cal Jam. He's at the top of this plexiglass ramp, and there's 400,000 people in back of him. And I'm looking at the picture now, so it's 3 feet by 2 feet, and man, it looks really cool. You see 400,000 people in the skateboard demo right in the middle, and in blue skies, and I mean, it's neat.
That's great. And so at this point in time, that's your favorite photo?
Yeah, that's today, but then I get looking at some of my race car stuff, and that's pretty cool. But I mean, this thing was so dramatic, I don't think it'll ever happen again.
What's your favorite piece of surf memorabilia?
Surf memorabilia?
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's probably the Pete Peterson board, because there isn't one. And I had that on display down at the Laguna, the Laguna show we did about, how was it, 3 or 4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Or the culture one. You went to that, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. And how about your apocalypse board? Do you still have that?
Yeah.
Let's say your Pete Peterson board is your
Pete Peterson, the Apocalypse and Movie Prop, and the Pete Peterson's, I mean, he's probably the heaviest surfer, I think. I think he's a little heavier than Duke even. And his stuff just doesn't exist.
How about game memorabilia? What's your favorite piece of that?
Yeah, I get sort of weak just looking at the little transition pieces, the Bennett trucks and the tracker trucks and the pre-kicktail boards and the one with a kicktail. I mean, I really don't have any, I can't think of any real favorites. It's still fairly, in my mind, it's still fairly new. And people are paying, tons for a Tony Alva dog pound board, and that's a big deal, but I mean, the surf stuff, it's more real to me.
In Skateboard Magazine, you were the publisher, the photographer, and the writer?
And then I put on a contest. I did a magazine, I do a contest, I be in the contest, I take pictures. It was stupid, and I'm still doing it. I still do it. I put on the Santa Barbara City Championships, I photograph it, and I compete in it. I put the word skateboard in the dictionary, and I submitted it in 74, and I think it finally went in 77. So I've got to keep doing it, don't I? And it's in the world of toys and just doing, sort of rad stuff, just having fun.
Anyway, so you have just lived a life of kind of being able to do a lot of the things that most people would love to do, and you've done them all.
Well, pretty much. We had the toys, and we got to invent a bunch of sports, and we just had really a lot of fun. I'm really fortunate.
And so what is it that you still want to do? I mean, is there something that you still kind of, that you think, God, I really want to do that?
When they get those skateboards like they had in Back to the Future, then I'll do that.